This session is about how to design visiting card. ये सेशन में हम लोग विजिटिंग कार्ड डिजाइन करना सीखेंगे। उसके साथ साथ हम अगले सेशन में हम लोग लिंक कैसे प्रोवाइड करना वो सीखेंगे। जैसे फोन नंबर का लिंक, व्हाट्सएप का लिंक, ईमेल आईडी का लिंक है, मुख्तलिफ चीज़ें जो ज़रूरत पड़ते हैं वो लिंक्स हम कैसे प्रोवाइड करना वो सीखेंगे। थर्ड, इस लिंक्स को अपने विजिटिंग कार्ड में कैसे इंटीग्रेट करना, कैसे ऐड कर लेना, तो उसके बाद आपका कार्ड मुकम्मल हो जाता है। इज दैट क्लियर? तो लेट्स स्टार्ट द रिवीजन ऑफ यस्टरडे सेशन। कल हम फिर से बोलेंगे कि व्हाट इज दिस ऑल अबाउट। पहली चीज हमको समझना जरूरी, विजिटिंग कार्ड होता क्या। पहले ज़माने में अगर किसी के घर पे गए, वो लोग अवेलेबल नहीं हैं, तो हम एक नोट रखते थे, एक छोटे से कागज पे। वी राइट ए नोट, माई सेल्फ इफ्तिखार हैज विजिटेड मिस्टर आमिर एट 10 o'clock। आप नहीं थे, वापस आप आने के बाद मुलाकात कर लीजिए। कोई वजह रहती तो वो होता नोट। डॉक्टर साहब भी नोट लिख के देते, एक स्मॉल पेपर पीस ऑन विच यू राइट समथिंग एज एन इंफॉर्मेशन। डॉक्टर साहब ये नोट लिख के देते कि भाई ये कस्टमर को 2000 रुपये कंसेशन दीजिए। विजिटिंग कार्ड इज जस्ट लाइक ए पेपर, स्मॉल पेपर ऑफ साइज 3.5 inches क्रॉस 2 inches, 3.5 इंच की लंबाई और 2 इंच की चौड़ाई। जनरल जो क्रेडिट कार्ड होता है ना वो साइज का होता। पेपर कार्ड हो सकता, प्लास्टिक कार्ड हो सकता, ठीक है। तो विजिटिंग कार्ड बेसिकली एक इंफॉर्मेटिव कार्ड है या कॉल कार्ड है। वापस कॉल बैक करने के लिए आपके लिए बहुत आसानी होती है अगर आप करेक्ट। ये सारे चीज मान रखते हैं, ब्लू कलर विद व्हाइट कलर, कॉन्ट्रास्ट कलर। जैसे हम एक रोबोट बनाए तो कलर कॉम्बिनेशन ली, जब घर के अंदर आप पेंट करते थे कॉम्बिनेशन लेते, सो इट गिव्स ए गुड अपीयरेंस टू द ऑडियंस। वेरी सिमिलर, आपका कार्ड कलरफुल होना चाहिए। कलरफुल का मतलब नहीं है कि बहुत सारे कलर्स, बट अपीलिंग कलर्स विच सूट्स योर बिजनेस मॉडल। जैसे आप एक हेयर सैलून डाल रहे हैं, इट हैज गॉट इट्स ओन कलर। अगर आप रेस्टोरेंट डाल रहे हैं, इट हैज गॉट इट्स ओन कलर। हॉस्पिटल डाल रहे हैं, इट हैज गॉट इट्स ओन कलर। आप एक इंजीनियर है, उसका एक अलग कलर होना चाहिए। आप एक डॉक्टर है, अलग कलर। प्रोफेशनली जो भी आप हैं, आप जिस इदारे से जुड़े हैं, उसका एक प्रोसेस होता है, उसका कार्ड होता है, उसका कलर कॉम्बिनेशन होता है, वो आप समझना जरूरी है। सो वी हैव गॉट टू लिंक्स हियर, आप इसको खोल के आप खुद देख ले सकते हैं। आई एम स्किपिंग दिस बिकॉज हमारा सब्जेक्ट विजिटिंग कार्ड बनाना है, लोगो बनाना नहीं है और कलर कॉम्बिनेशन बताना नहीं है। अदरवाइज इट विल टेक लॉट ऑफ टाइम, जो हम 5 दिन में श्रिंक करना चाह रहे हैं। वी हैव टू बी स्मार्ट एनफ टू शो यू समथिंग, टू शो यू सम रेफरेंसेस। थोड़े आपको रेफरेंसेस देंगे जिससे आप आगे चले आ सकते हैं। अब देखिए, साहब कार्ड बना कितना अच्छा बनाए, एक मुर्गी की फोटो भी रखी और रेड कलर का वो भी रखी। यू फील यस अच्छा कार्ड। तो आप जो स्टार्टअप लेंगे तो थोड़े थोड़े आप गूगल करिए,
बोल रहा है तो पूरे बैठे हुए सुविधाएं भी आ जाते हैं।
गूगल इज द बेस्ट। Now how to design a business card has got 8 steps. First is shape. आमतौर पे रेक्टेंगुलर कार्ड्स देखें, लेकिन स्क्वायर कार्ड्स, ट्रायंगल कार्ड्स, बहुत सारे टाइप्स आते हैं। लेकिन गूगल में लिखा है लॉट मेनी कार्ड्स, टाइप्स ऑफ शेप्स ऑफ कार्ड्स। फॉर एग्जांपल ये राउंड कार्ड्स हैं, कॉर्नर्स, करेक्ट। दिस इज अ डिफरेंट कार्ड, बॉटल की शेप में कार्ड। बस क्रिएटिव शेप डिफाइन करिए। See, this is another different card. We cannot show you all the examples, just telling you that these are the few examples to make you understand. Yes, shape is very important to take up a card design. इसके अंदर देखिए, you have got slots here. That's another design. That's another shape. Embossing भी होता। Next is choose your size. Standard size हम जैसा बता रहा हूँ, we follow American standards, that is 3.5 inches cross 2 inches. किसी और कंट्री में कुछ और है, but not necessarily this. This is one of the standards that people use. It's the size of a credit card. It's the size of a debit card. We should not overthink. इतना चाहिए को उतना चाहिए को नहीं. Somebody has told us, we go with it. Next is add your logo. शेप के बाद साइज हो गया, साइज के बाद थर्ड स्टेप है ऐड योर लोगो एंड अदर ग्राफिक्स। लोगो कहाँ रखना, जैसे ओमनी का एक लोगो है, फिर ग्राफिक्स, जैसे यहाँ पे अलग अलग सोशल मीडिया, अलग अलग चीजों के अलग अलग कलर्स हैं, दैट्स अबाउट ग्राफिक्स. गिविंग एस्थेटिक्स टू द कार्ड, टू द डिजाइन इज ऑल अबाउट ग्राफिकल डिजाइन. जैसा मेरा टी शर्ट है, ग्राफिकल डिजाइन प्रॉपर, स्ट्राइप्स प्लेन भी रह सकता है, लेस ग्राफिकल डिजाइन, मोर ग्राफिकल डिजाइन. अब यहाँ पे देखिए, ये लोगो ऐसा रखना, फिर यहाँ पे ये फॉन्ट को उसको श्रिंक करके उत्ते मिला लेना ताकि ऊपर का टेक्स्ट नीचे का टेक्स्ट उस साइज को मैच करे. सम मेथड दैट जेंटलमैन विल स्पीक व्हाई ही हैज टेकन दिस. आप जब बनाते आप आगे बोल सकते, आपके घर में चूल्हा इधर है, वरांडा इधर है, फला फला, इट इज योर डिजाइन सर, आई हैव नॉट टोल्ड यू डिजाइन लाइक दिस. अब ये प्लेटफॉर्म ऐसा है, फिर ऐसा है, all this is some kind of a design. So you decide what you want to design. That is our graphic design. कार्ड में एक लुक ला लेना, बाल में लुक लाते तो, लिबास में लुक लाते, टॉकिंग स्टाइल में लुक आते, अमेरिकन एक्सेंट, इंग्लिश एक्सेंट, ब्रिटिश एक्सेंट. मैं 2-3 जबान में बात कर लेता हूँ, लोगों के लहजे में भी बात कर लेता हूँ. I have learned that art of speaking. तो वो क्या होता, एक कंफर्ट जोन डेवलप होता. Somebody speaks me in Telugu, I speak back in Telugu. Somebody speaks me in Kannada, I speak back in Kannada. That is adjustments. So I'm just talking about graphical designing in your card. There's no end of learning. We're just giving you how you take it forward. ये डिजाइन है, फिगर ऑन वन साइड, टेक्स्ट ऑन द अदर साइड, ऊपर का बड़ा एक अलग डिजाइन है, फिर उसका नीचे डॉक्टर का नाम है, उसके उनका पोजीशन है, फिर उसके बाद सोशल आईडीज है, फिर ईमेल आईडी है, फला फला. अब वेबसाइट यहाँ है, यहाँ कहीं भी नहीं है, नो आर्गुमेंट्स. फोटो इसके बैकग्राउंड में रख सकते थे ना, योर क्रिएटिविटी. नेक्स्ट इज हैविंग डिजाइन्ड इट, एडिंग टेक्स्ट. जो टाइप करते हैं टेक्स्ट, फोन नंबर टाइप ही करना पड़ेगा और एड्रेस टाइप ही करना पड़ेगा. आज के डेट में भी तेलंगाना गवर्नमेंट से अगर आप रजिस्ट्रेशन कर रहे हैं फॉर्म, यू शुड हैव अ बोर्ड विद तेलुगु रिटन ऑन इट. किंगस्टन हॉस्पिटल should be translated in Telugu and board should be there as per the norms of Telangana government. फॉर्म रजिस्ट्रेशन कर रहे हैं, अगर लोग ज्यादातर तेलुगु जानते हैं, आप ऐसा ही रखिए. आप जब चेन्नई से दे देंगे तमिलनाडु में, all those buses will have Tamil written there. The street lanes also written in Tamil. The railway stations written in Tamil. That's the regional importance. So what I'm talking about is you can type the text on to the card. You can make an Arabic card, you can make Telugu card, you can make whatever language you want. Yes, you can do that. You can have multiple language card as well. So to do that, yes, you have to have a name, you should have the designation of that person, you should have few important points like contact number, WhatsApp number, so and so forth. You should not make a clumsy card, you should make a decent card. Yes. Few mandatory things required as text is name is to be written, the company name should be written, जिसके लिए वो काम कर रहे हैं, job title, designation क्या है, phone number, email ID, website URL if the company has got a website, social media addresses like LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. Address, yes. QR code is an old story because when entering digital card, QR code की जरूरत ही नहीं है. कार्ड में सब चीज क्लिकेबल हो जा रहा, फिर क्या QR कोड में? Maybe for privacy we can talk about QR code for your payment account. अगर आप पेमेंट से लिंक करना चाह रहे हैं, थोड़ी ऑथेंटिसिटी बढ़ाने के लिए आप QR कोड रख सकते हैं. स्लोगन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. हाउ आर यू डिफाइन? एक सेंटेंस में अपना डेफिनेशन दो. कंपनी ऑल्सो हैज टू डिफाइन इट्स स्लोगन. हम एक कंपनी चला रहे हैं, उसका हम स्लोगन रखें, वी स्टार्ट वेयर पीपल क्रेडल. जहां पे लोग आराम करना शुरू करते हैं, वहां से हम अपनी स्पीड भी कर पाते हैं. एक स्लोगन जो आपको जिसको आप डिफाइन करते हैं, नाम देते हैं आप, तो क्यों नाम रखे ऐसा? तो वेरी सिमिलर, आप जो इंडस्ट्री में काम करना चाह रहे हैं, सेल्स करना चाह रहे हैं, सर्विस करना चाह रहे हैं, यू शुड हैव अ स्लोगन. one sentence, one proverb. Choose your typography. Typing में स्टाइल्स होना, फॉन्ट होना, कलर होना, बोल्ड होना, लाइट होना, अंडरलाइन होना, स्ट्राइक होना, जो वर्ड में जो होते हैं। अब देखिए यहाँ पे इस कंपनी का नाम, इसका फॉन्ट कैसा है, फिर नीचे का बैकग्राउंड के ऊपर जैसा लिखा हुआ है, फिर यहाँ पे जो लिखा हुआ है, फिर यहाँ पे एंड हाउ टू गिव द गैप्स फॉर द फोन नंबर्स, इंटरनेशनल कोड फॉलोड विद स्टेट कोड फॉलोड विद द नंबर। एंड व्हाई दिस गैप? इंसान क्या करता है, 5 डिजिट तक आसानी से याद रख सकता है। रिमेम्बरिंग, मेमोरी जो है, पूरे एक साथ नंबर याद नहीं रहते, तो उस वजह से वो ब्रेकअप। जब हम किसी को नंबर डिक्टेट करते हैं, प्लीज टेल मी योर नंबर 199405, ऐसा नहीं बोलते ना, गिव सम गैप, 5 लेटर्स फर्स्ट, 5 डिजिट्स फर्स्ट, द नेक्स्ट 5 डिजिट नेक्स्ट, 10 डिजिट का नंबर है, 2 बार में बोलते हैं, आधे टुकड़े कर दी, इट वर्क्स आउट। Now this is another typographic model. ये अलग आर्ट वर्क है, फिर ये अलग है। दिस और टाइप करेंगे तो आएगा ना, आप टाइप करना, फिर आर्ट वर्क सेलेक्ट करना, अपने आप वो अपने आप चेंज होते चले जाता है, 3D में चेंज होता है, 2D में चेंज जाता है। अब ये देखिए डिजाइन के अंदर लोगो ऐसा बना है। The next is consider special finishes. लेटर प्रेसिंग, एम्बोजिंग, फाइल स्टैंपिंग, उसके अंदर आप मेमोरी कार्ड भी रख सकते हैं। विजिटिंग कार्ड के अंदर किसी को आप दे रहे हैं तो यू वांट टू मेक हिम अंडरस्टैंड दैट यू आर आल्सो गिविंग 32 GB मेमोरी आप देना चाह रहे हैं, आप कार्ड में एम्बोज कर दे सकते हैं, कार्ड में एम्बेड कर दे सकते हैं, यू कैन डू दैट। थोड़ा कॉस्ट पड़ जाता, आप 2023 का आप किसी को गिफ्ट देना चाह रहे हैं, यस यू कैन टेक एन एडवांटेज। किचन लोग गिफ्ट देते हैं, और भी कुछ गिफ्ट देते, यू कैन गिव योर विजिटिंग कार्ड एज अ कार्ड ऑफ मेमोरी। नाउ द अदर पॉइंट इज पिक ए डिजाइनर। आपसे इतना होता करिए जो नहीं होता, किसी एक्सपर्ट को बोलिए। ए कस्टमर कम्स टू यू से दैट आई वांट लाइक दिस लाइक दिस लाइक दिस, मे बी इट इज अबव योर डिक्शनरी, आपके डिक्शनरी में नहीं, आपकी मालूमात में नहीं है, यू नीड टू टेक सपोर्ट। सो टू विश टू टेक ए सपोर्ट, call for some experts, hang on to some experts like good designers, dictate them what you want, they will design for you. आपका खुद का घर आप नहीं बना रहे हैं, किसी को एक्सपर्ट को बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन आप डायरेक्शन तो दे रहे हैं। आपने आप कैसा बनाते बना के दे दो, मैं रह जाता हूँ, you don't do that, you have a taste. So when you have a taste, you should hold your customer's taste. Customer से आप समझ जाइए, किसी और से बनवाइए। Nobody cares, आप करें किसी से कराए, people will not ask you, people will ask you how good you are standing in the market, आपका कमिटमेंट कितना स्ट्रांग है, आप आज बोले तो आज दे देना। Next, finalize your design. So बन गया आपका, वो मार्केट में ला लीजिए। This is a basic idea of how to design a visiting card. Is that clear? Yes. We have run a video, right? Yesterday.
Yes.
Where is the video?
First, starting side. Starting.
In this it is there.
Yes.
कहाँ?
जाके
The first lecture.
इसमें? ये कौन? ये वाला। ये वाला, ये तो तेलुगु में, तेलुगु में। I'm just running a video for you to help you how to design a visiting card. There are many videos, this is my choice. This is the book logo.
Whether it's a client website, business cards, products or packaging, there's no visual asset more important to a business than a logo. For a business, a logo is a personal stamp or signature. It conveys a sense of professionalism and suggests the business can be trusted. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to get started with different types of logo categories and what they're used for. And then I'm going to show you how to present your ideas so you get the greatest buy-in from your team or your boss or your client. So, where to start? Well, logos start well before any of the design work. It's all research, research, and more research. Understanding what makes the business unique is critical. Zero in on that point of difference. It's often referred to as a USP, or unique selling proposition. This is what sets them apart from others and appeals to their customers. Start with questions that identify their USP, like, what does the business do better than anyone else? What's the best compliment they've ever got from their customers? What's 3 words that best define their offering? Maybe even what does the team like best about working there? And what brand accomplishment are they most proud of? Understanding the business also means understanding the audience. These are the people that need to recognize and relate to the logo that you'll design. The business might have existing research and data about these demographics and interests. Getting access to this will be really important. Otherwise, you need to find it yourself. The clearer you get on what makes this business unique, the more equipped you'll be to deliver a logo that is relevant, original, and useful. Another thing you might do is scrutinize the competition. What's already on the audience's radar? What are the others doing? Then look at the broader industry and similar industries. Note which logos work and which ones don't. Are there trends that are worth mimicking or ones to steer clear of? This research and the questions raised are great conversation to have with your team, as they will have existing insights and opinions. Try to remain objective and use the information gathered to help drive your design decisions and process. A great logo is all about substance over style, and substance comes from research. Equipped with research, it's time to start working on the logo. First things first, step away from the computer. Working on the screen can be slow. It's also distracting. It's tempting us to start perfecting our work before our ideas are really truly ready. Hand sketching is a much more effective way to tap into the thoughts and ideas that are banging around in your head. It also helps you work quickly and fluidly. Thumbnail sketches are common in the early stages of ideation. Why are they called thumbnails? Because they're small. Draw your ideas small, fast and loose. And this will enable you to put a bunch of ideas down together on a single page. Iterate each sketch from the last, injecting something new or a slight refinement. Once you've sketched all the ideas in your head, try to challenge yourself with different things. Like, have you been focused on a pictogram logo, for instance? Maybe try sketching a word mark option, or maybe a monogram one will work better. Okay, let's discuss these categories in more depth. Understanding logo categories helps us design and discuss them and consider why particular design decisions have been made. There are 3 main ones that we'll discuss here: word marks, monograms, and pictograms. A word mark is a text-based treatment of the business name. It's where the business has decided that the name is the most important thing to be recognised and remembered. The words are the logo, and the font is essential in conveying the vibe of the business. For example, history and importance are conveyed in the black letter typeface of the New York Times logo. The Jeep word mark, for instance, is a bold sans serif. It's simple, it's functional, but slightly restrained. The typography actually suits the style of the car. The Coca-Cola word mark, I'm sure we all know, a free-flowing and energetic script. Tiffany & Co. uses an elegant, prestigious serif. And it could be argued that the particular shade of Tiffany blue or the Coke red is equally memorable. A monogram is a typographic treatment, but this time focused on the business initials. Consider a very traditional monogram, like when someone's initials are embroidered on a handkerchief. Something like that is personalised, and it's got this special quality. Monograms are often used when the name of the business is a person's or a family's name. The initials of someone's name plus that personalised special quality combine to give monograms a prestigious, elite, or maybe even luxury feel. For example, the initials of Louis Vuitton or Coco Chanel are represented in these very recognisable monograms. Such is the prestige of the monogram, a brand might create one from only one initial. The trick, repeat the letter. Here are some examples from renowned fashion houses like Givenchy and Fendi. Monograms are suited to being placed on clothing and objects. They've got that refined, badge-like appearance. And for instance, you might see it on a team logo or a baseball cap. Modern monograms use the initials of any font or arrangement of letters, like Bang & Olufsen. They use an elegant sans serif font and dynamic arrangement of the letters in the monogram. LG arranges the letters to symbolise a smiling face. General Electric, more widely known as GE, has used the same monogram for over 100 years. And Volkswagen's simple stack of the V and the W has stood for over 80 years, with just small adjustments. Pictograms are derived from an image or an icon. The famous ones don't even need a business name alongside. We know who they belong to. For a large, renowned organisation, this sense of familiarity is really important. Think of how immediately recognisable the Nike swoosh is. Like monograms, pictograms can be used at very small size, like on a mobile phone screen. Here they identify a brand without the surrounding information. They are refined image or idea, possibly maybe a bit abstract. More of a representation, designed down to the essence. The evolution of the Instagram logo is a great example of this process of refinement. Today, it's a representation of a camera rather than a literal image. The Apple logo has been refined in a similar way, although it still looks like an apple. Understanding different logo types enables you to choose the best approach for your clients or business. However, these categories aren't always clear-cut. Consider the Toyota logo. Often considered like a monogram because it's a T. The logo is also a pictogram. Some see an abstract bull or a man in a cowboy hat. But it could also actually be a word mark. Similarly, the Beats logo. This is obviously a letter B, so it's a monogram. But looking closely, it's also a pictogram. It's a representation of a head wearing headphones. The FedEx logo is well known and as a word mark. But have you ever noticed that the clever pictogram within? The arrow represents the forward-moving service that FedEx provides. It's okay if categories overlap or terms are used in different ways, as long as you understand the concepts. Categories are really useful tools. Okay, now that we've got the basic categories, let's look at how we can design them in Canva.
For this exercise, I'm going to work with a not-for-profit brand. I always like to start with a word mark. It's a text-based treatment of a business name, so it's simple, to the point, and really relies on the font that you choose. In Canva, the easiest way to begin is to look at some of the pre-existing templates. To find some examples, type in text logo into the templates search field. Let's take a look at one. The business name is presented as a display font, and there's some detailing with the drop shadow effect too. When designing a logo, you need to ask what suits the client or the brand. What is their product or service, or who is their audience? It is easy to achieve a new result. Just duplicate the page, select the text box, experiment with the font drop-down menu. Perhaps a handwritten font like this will work. Simple adjustments to scale and shadow will start to refine things. Or perhaps a more formal font feels appropriate. Duplicate the page and select another like this. As you design, consider how the logo can be refined. By tightening up the letter spacing, like this, we can make the design feel more unified. We can change the colour of the font, and the colour of the shadow here. Starting with a blank page, type in the business name and think about what font would really suit the mood. Then refine the details like letter spacing, colour and effects. Continue duplicating your work to try different things, keeping the client and the audience always in mind. Monograms are made using the initials of a business or a person's name. Here's an example. By clicking on this template, you can see that some monograms have already been developed as part of the set. Let's look at some other letter arrangements. To duplicate, click and hold Alt or Option, and then move and scale the letters. Of course, a very traditional monogram might be created from a script typeface, where the letters interlock. With these two text boxes selected, I'm going to search for a script. This might work, if the letters are closer together, so they overlap. For a monogram, try to achieve a nice balanced flow, no matter what the font. What about if you're starting from scratch? Work out what style is going to be suitable. For instance, will serif work? Or should a monogram have a more modern feel with a sans serif? A script is going to look formal and traditional, but does that suit the client? Make a plan and try sketching out a few ideas before you jump on the screen, and then you can start working things up on Canva. A pictogram is the refined graphic or the icon part of a logo. It can work on its own, but it can also partner nicely with a word mark. Scrolling down the logo templates in Canva, we can see lots of these. Take this logo for example. It combines images of a burger and a tree. The graphic is simple, not a detailed illustration. The style as well as the combination is clever, original and memorable. When creating a pictogram, start with information about the client. Who are they? What is their service? Where are they located? What are their values? What makes them different? Come up with graphics that represent these answers. This is another opportunity to sketch lots of quick, loose ideas. Try to capture the essence of the graphic to refine it to its most simplest form. Maybe two ideas can combine to create something completely original like this. Armed with lots of ideas and sketches, jump into Canva. Start in the Elements tab and begin your search. And pull lots of possibilities onto your page. Think about how to experiment and further simplify things. Pictograms might look remarkably simple, but they require a lot of thought, iteration and refinement. Keep developing those ideas and trying lots of options. The final thing I wanted to go over is presenting your logo ideas. The way you present can be designed. So prepare strategically. Include your research and explain your thinking. Show the development that you've taken along the way. Taking the audience on a journey is going to help them understand your decision making. Involving them in the process helps them feel invested. And encourage them to make small, specific decisions. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, you might initially present the logo in black and white, so they can focus on the logo's shapes and form. And then if you've got colour ideas, you can show them later in the presentation. This step-by-step presentation leads to organised and logical decisions. Try presenting your logo design in use. Mock-ups of stationery, signage, products, or even digital media will help the client see the logo come to life. Feedback is inevitable, and it should be welcome. The client needs to feel really comfortable and excited to move forward. Editing and refining the logo with the business leaders is a necessary part of the process. They might love a single concept, or they might love all your concepts. They might love a single detail and ask you to develop on that. Or they might send you back to the drawing board. And that's okay. Your job is to design something long-lasting that will wait, creating something that they're going to love. It takes time, but it's all part of the process. Oh, you're still here. Well, if you want more content like this, hit that subscribe button down below, or even tell us what you want to learn in the comments section.
Yeah, I just picked how to go about with logo.
I love you.
Well-designed business cards are kept, maybe because they're rarer these days, but when you take the time to craft a beautiful card, people respond by hanging on to it and remember you when they need your services.
Yeah, and I find it can be used as a really great icebreaker too, like at the beginning of a meeting or when you're meeting someone new. it makes it really easy for people to understand who you are and what you do, and provide some information about the business you represent.
And it gives them a way to contact you and follow up in the future.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a great segue into what we actually need to put on a business card.
So business cards are often the first exposure a new client or business will have to you and your business. So you need to give them all the information quickly and concisely. Answer these 3 important questions. Who are you? What do you do? And how can you be contacted? Let me show you in Canva. So you'll need to begin with your name. That needs the hierarchy.
Okay, so before you go any further, what is hierarchy?
Well, so hierarchy basically shows the audience what's most important. As a designer, you can indicate this by having specific items larger, bolder, brighter in colour, so they really grab the attention.
Right, so in the case of a business card, you probably want your name to be bigger?
Yeah, exactly. The person you're meeting needs to know quickly who they're talking to, so it's essential your name is legible. Position your name somewhere, prominently on the card.
So I guess the next thing they might need to know about is, what your position is, so they can start to form assumptions about how the meeting is going to go and how important it is.
Yeah, that's right. This is why you get really complex job titles. Let's make me really important. So the title still needs to be clear, but it can be a bit smaller. And I place this next to the name so it forms a natural flow for the reader, so they see my name and they follow quickly into my position.
Right. So in their mind, the two become combined, like related.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, you have the contact details. Now, this is where you decide how you want to be contacted. If you hate talking on the phone, then don't put your phone on there. Put an office number or lead with your email. I love talking on the phone, so I'm going to put that up front.
Yeah, so I guess if you have a physical space or office that you want people to turn up to or send mail to, then we should put an address on the card.
Yeah, that's right. Choose how you want to be contacted and use the order and the hierarchy to communicate that. A common method to achieve hierarchy is to adjust the weight of your type. Perhaps your name is in bold and the title is underneath in the same size, but it's a lighter version of the same typeface. And then we can go a bit smaller for the contact details.
Right, so I have a few questions about the text. So first of all, how small can we go?
Yeah, it's a good question because business cards are pretty small in size already, so sometimes they need to fit a lot of text on them. So you're working in a font size around about 8 to 10 points, never smaller than 6 points, and don't go too small. It's not a great look if someone needs to squint or get their glasses out and hand it to them.
No. So what about fonts then? I imagine typeface choice is quite key as well.
Yeah, overly decorative or display fonts are hard to read on business cards. Depending on the size of the type, you might even find serif is too hard to read. Script is definitely a no-no. At this size, the characters tend to bleed together a little bit too much. That's why most people go for sans serif or choose the brand's body copy font.
Right, and what colours do we want to make the font?
It depends on your background, but choose a readable colour because of the small font size, you're often going to see business cards with like dark text on a sort of white or pale background or opposite. Go for contrast and then it should be legible.
Right, so you want the recipient of your card to really associate your name with the business you own or work for.
Yeah, like a logo is a great visual replacement for the company's name on the card. It adds a sleek visual element to the business card and breaks up the text elements. If you don't have a logo, you just type the name of the business, but I would try and separate it from your name and position, like give it its own space. And finally, you might want to include some relevant social media handles if that's important to you. A website is a great CTA as well.
So for the people at home, what is a CTA?
Yeah, it's a call to action. It gives the receiver of the card something to do next. If you want them to find out more about your business, they can look at your website or they can follow you on social media.
Right, so is that all of the text?
Yeah, so now we can add in additional signifiers that create a theme or send subliminal messages to the receiver. This could be something simple like a background colour or graphic elements and shapes. It could be a photograph, the most basic being a picture of you, which is great for people who are better with faces than names. Or it could be something that sends more of an abstract message.
When you say an abstract message, like what do you mean by that?
This is where visuals are so strong, like they say more than just a word.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a picture tells 1,000 words, right?
Yeah, exactly. The imagery I choose
스크린페이 야라세.
스크린페이 야라? ಯಾಕರೆ ಯಾರ?
It's a great question. An elegant and simple single-sided card might be sufficient. It's also cheaper. If things get squeezed, then you might consider putting some of the information on the back. Double-sided cards are very common, and often that side is dog imagery. People can see that, but it just doesn't feel authentic.
I guess that could be a bit of a conversation starter as well.
Yeah, if it raises a question with the audience's mind, it's like the perfect way to start a discussion. Your business card is a reflection of you, so you need to consider what you would like to convey to the customers, what makes you the right person for the job. What can you do that no one else can? If your service is quite a common one, like how can you make it compelling in a visual way?
Yeah, so how much content do you want to include on your card? Because they are small, so do you want it one-sided or two-sided? Or...
It's a great question. An elegant and simple single-sided card might be sufficient. It's also cheaper. If things get squeezed, then you might consider putting some of the information on the back. Double-sided cards are very common, and often that side is informative, and then another side that communicates something about the brand and the service. Popping some content on the back, like social media handles, might also free up some space. So I'm going to make a duplicate of this page, and so then I can work on the copy.
Oh, right, so you can always, come back to it later if needed.
Yeah, nothing worse than working away, realising it's not working, and then finding out you've gone over the original design.
I mean, there's Command Z.
Yeah, but I think it worked more like putting a line in the sand, and so you can always return to this point. I personally use lots and lots of duplicates and then get rid of them at the end. So I've got a duplicate of this one-sided business card. I'm going to make another duplicate and delete everything off, and this is going to be my second side. I'll copy and paste some of the elements from the first side to the back, and then you can see how we're starting to space the elements out.
Yeah, the beauty of a double-sided card is to get that flip effect.
The flip effect. Did you just make that up?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, the audience receives it one way, and then they can turn it over and another way.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's like this extra step in the journey. So you might think about how you can add to that. Like, do you add in a tagline or a CTA on the front? Something that connects the front to the back.
Yeah, I mean, the front could be really visual with your logo, and then the back could have more of your information on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all starting to look really good. When do you know if it's finished or not?
Yeah, the creative process could go on forever, as we know. Eventually, you need to step away from around and get some feedback from your teammates, or your boss, or your client.
Yeah, this is actually one of my favourite features, the ability to collaborate in real time.
It's amazing. All you have to do is just hit the share button, and you can directly enter their email or share a link.
Yeah, it's always great to involve others in the process, whether it be like a client or your teammates, even to just check that the spelling is correct.
A second pair of eyes is always a good thing to get on any design.
Absolutely. So once it's approved, I guess we're ready to print.
Yeah, before we get there, we need to talk about bleed.
Yes, I remember being so confused about
I know, it's actually surprisingly hard to explain, but it shouldn't be. Basically, when cards are printed, they need to be printed on large sheets and you'll contain like multiple cards. And printers aim to ensure like cards are trimmed correctly, but things may move slightly. So creating bleed means you're creating an extra colour or extending the image around the edges of the artwork, so it can be safely trimmed. It's super easy to add in Canva. Just do it like this. You just hit show print bleed and expand the background image so it fits to the edge. For a safe measure, ensure that about 5mm from the edge of the card so it doesn't get chopped off when the cards are trimmed in the printer.
Yeah, right. And Canva really helps check that, danger zone, ensuring that all of your text and elements are a safe distance from the card edge.
So once that's done, now we are ready to print.
Awesome. So I'm not sure if the audience knows this, but Canva can actually print them for you.
Yeah, it's just under the share button. You just go to print your design.
Oh, yeah, where the little delivery truck is.
Yeah, that's it. Select your paper, what sort of finish you want, and the quantity.
And it comes with 100% happiness guarantee.
I know, I love that.
Actually, can I show you something cool as well? Yeah, so if you have other people in your team that need a business card too, you can actually save this design as a template or share it as a template link and it will create a whole nother copy for them.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. I mean, that's going to save them so much time.
Absolutely, and it also, creates consistency across the whole business.
So that's the basics of how to create your business card.
Yeah, and I always suggest people to jump into Canva, play around with the editor.
You know, we haven't even mentioned the thousands of business card templates that already exist ready to be used.
No, and they're a really great way to start. Like, everything is there ready for you, and all you have to do is just pop in your own details.
So I hope this inspires you to give business cards a go as part of your print strategy.
This session is about how to design visiting card. ये सेशन में हम लोग विजिटिंग कार्ड डिजाइन करना सीखेंगे। उसके साथ साथ हम अगले सेशन में हम लोग लिंक कैसे प्रोवाइड करना वो सीखेंगे। जैसे फोन नंबर का लिंक, व्हाट्सएप का लिंक, ईमेल आईडी का लिंक है, मुख्तलिफ चीज़ें जो जरूरत पड़ते हैं वो लिंक्स हम कैसे प्रोवाइड करना वो सीखेंगे। थर्ड, इस लिंक्स को अपने विजिटिंग कार्ड में कैसे इंटीग्रेट करना, कैसे ऐड कर लेना, तो उसके बाद आपका कार्ड मुकम्मल हो जाता है। इज दैट क्लियर? तो लेट्स स्टार्ट द रिवीजन ऑफ यस्टरडे सेशन। कल हम फिर से बोलेंगे कि व्हाट इज दिस ऑल अबाउट। पहली चीज हमको समझना जरूरी है विजिटिंग कार्ड होता क्या। पहले जमाने में अगर किसी के घर पे गए, वो लोग अवेलेबल नहीं है, तो हम एक नोट रखते थे, एक छोटे से कागज पे वी राइट ए नोट, माई सेल्फ इफ्तिखार हैज विजिटेड मिस्टर आमिर एट 10 o'clock। आप नहीं थे, वापस आप आने के बाद मुलाकात कर लीजिए। कोई वजह रहती तो वो होता नोट। डॉक्टर साहब भी नोट लिख के देते, एक स्मॉल पेपर पीस ऑन विच यू राइट समथिंग एंड इंफॉर्मेशन। डॉक्टर साहब ये नोट लिख के देते कि भाई ये कस्टमर को 2000 रुपए कंसेशन दीजिए। विजिटिंग कार्ड इज जस्ट लाइक ए पेपर, स्मॉल पेपर ऑफ साइज 3.5 inches क्रॉस 2 inches, 3.5 इंच की लंबाई और 2 इंच की चौड़ाई। जनरल जो क्रेडिट कार्ड होता है ना वो साइज का होता। पेपर कार्ड हो सकता, प्लास्टिक कार्ड हो सकता, ठीक है। तो विजिटिंग कार्ड बेसिकली एक इंफॉर्मेटिव कार्ड है या कॉल कार्ड है। वापस कॉल बैक करने के लिए आपके लिए बहुत आसानी होती है अगर आप करेक्ट